Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another episode of the Chemlock League. This time it's All-Star Game. So this time the Yin All-Stars will go against the Yang All-Stars. The Yang All-Stars for the third consecutive year will be at home for this matchup as the Burglars had the best record in the league at 13-3. So instead of playing at the ballpark that we have been at the last 2 years, which was Golden Field, this year we will be at Emerald Diamond. So a little different. This series is split 1-1 as the first year the Yin Conference won 11-4. And then in the second All-Star game, the Yang Conference won 5-4 in 9 innings. So it went into extras and it made a big difference in that game. So let's go ahead and find Emerald Diamond for this one. Let's make it a night game as we usually do. 6 innings, designated hitter, and no extra runner in the in the extra innings. So what the lineup is going to look like, let me fix this really quick, as we're going to have Tony Centercut leading off in the left. The starting DH is actually going to be Rock Quintana. He will be DHing. Ed Guerrero will be at short. Yeah, I already set all of this stuff, so bear with me. Archie Barton will be at first. Casey Willis at third. Bellato will not be starting in center field. Instead, that'll be Leonardo Deputy, Rakitano DH, Fisk Gallagher in right, and second baseman's going to be Kai Plum, followed by Franklin Pennington. So now who do we put in this order? Let's lead off with Fisk Gallagher. We'll put, I guess, looking at some of these results, your stolen base winner was Casey Willis, or leader for this team was Casey Willis. So let's lead off with him, followed by Fisk Gallagher. We'll have Ed Guerrero, who was the #1 MVP of the league this year. We'll get number 3 spot, followed by, let's put Tony Centercut right behind him, followed by Archie Barton, and then let's do it like we have it here. And that's going to be rounding out our order. Orville Bracketeer will be the starter for the Yin All-Stars. We'll talk about other players and the stats as we go, but let's go ahead and look at the other side. What a mess this looks like. So Sasha is not starting at second base. First of all, our DH is going to be Mr. Where are you at? Joaquin Keller. So let's position swap you. Lucas Fowle will be first base. Sasha Garrett will not be our starting second baseman. Instead, that will be, I believe, Valerie. Yep, Valerie will be our second baseman. Lucas Fowle at first. Grover Charles will not be our starting center fielder. That'll be Dainty Waller. Jack Mars at short. Forrest Ponce at third. Royce Coffey in left. And Parker Hamsteak will be in right. That's the team. Let's see, what order do we put them in? We could put the stolen base leader, Forrest Ponce, in the 1 spot, followed by who had the most home runs? Jack Mars with 4. Big year for him. He's going to be in the 3 spot. Let's put I don't know. Let's put a little bit of speed here from Dainty Waller in the 2 spot, followed by Jack Mars, Lucas Fowle, and then we'll put Valerie Daniel, Joaquin Keller. Then let's do Parker Hamsteak and Royce Coffey, followed by Leonardo Deputy, and then the Cy Young winner, Asher Garcia, will get the start on the mound for the Yang All-Stars. So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and head out to Emerald Diamond. And as we have done in the past, I will talk a little bit more about stats and why these players made it to the league. We actually had a handful of players make their second All-Star appearance in this one, but there is one player in particular that I hope we get a chance to see in the game. That one player has made the All-Star game all 3 years. I'll give you a hint. She is in the Yang Conference this year. So we'll see. And I'll also give you a hint. She's a pitcher. So we'll see what happens. But Casey Willis will lead things off. Casey, batting 400 on the year, was ranked 6th in the league, had tied for 6th in home runs with 4, tied for 6th in RBIs with 12. Nice pitch there from Asher Garcia for the strikeout. So it was a big year for Casey Willis from the Reapers. Pitching on the mound is Asher Garcia. Asher Garcia was number 3 in the MVP voting, had a 1.33 ERA, was 6th at best in the league, had a .98 whip, had, as that ball is going to get just out of play, had 18 strikeouts, which was tied for 6th, and gets a strikeout there as 2nd of the game. Also had 1 complete game in 20 1/3 innings pitched, so a great year from him. He gets the start for the Ungulates. He made the All-Star game. Now here comes Ed Guerrero. He was the MVP. You can see that gold bat and the gold batting gloves facing off against Asher Garcia's gold glove. So this is the matchup that everybody's looking at. And Ed Guerrero of the Maulers, number 1 in home runs, number 1 in RBIs, number 1 in OPS. 7 home runs, 15 RBIs, and nice pitching from Asher Garcia as he strikes out the side. Ed Guerrero frozen, and he goes back to the dugout. Now, for the Yin All-Stars, we see Orville Bracketeer making his 2nd appearance in the All-Star game. He also made it back in year 1 as he pitched for the Blurs. This year he pitched for the Sewer Sneaks, who are the number 1 team in the Yin Conference. He had a 1.31 ERA, which was good for 4th in the league. Had a .87 whip, tied for 8th in the league, as he gives up a base hit to Forrest Ponce. Forrest, number 2 in the MVP voting, had a .438 batting average, good for 2nd in the league, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases. So he led the league in stolen bases this year, and he has that Steeler trade activated here, so we'll see if that ends up playing a role as Dainty Waller comes up to the plate. Dainty from the Scroungers. Oh, I didn't mention Forrest Ponce is on the Burglars, who are the number 1 team in the league. As Bracketeer gets a strikeout against Dainty Waller. Here comes Jack Mars of the Ungulates, number 8 in the MVP voting, 422 batting average, 4 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a 1.207 OPS. So big year for him. And he's going to see if he can get to the lead for the Yang All-Stars as he gets a base hit up the middle, and that's going to mean 2 on with 1 out for Lucas Fowle. Lucas Fowle, folks, has been here before. He's currently on the Dive Bombers, but this is his 2nd appearance in the All-Star game. In year 1, he played for the Burners and made it to the All-Star game this year, batting .318 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs, a 1.036 OPS. Big year for him, but not his best year. He pops that one foul, looking to see if he can help his team out. He is one of the best home run hitters in the league as he gives a hard hit to left field, but it's just going to be station-to-station ball for the Yang All-Stars. And Valerie McDowell will come up, his Lucas Fowle's teammate from the Dive Bombers. She was number 7 in All-Star voting with a .370 batting average, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. She had a really solid year, 6 doubles, and she grounds out to second. Casey Willis over to Kai Plum and over to Archie Barton for the double play. The Yin All-Stars are able to get out of it, so a bit of trouble for Orville Bracketeer, but he's able to get the bases cleared up without allowing a run. And I don't have to introduce this man. Tony Centercut, the MVP of season 2, comes into this one. He was actually number 4 in the All-Star or in the MVP voting, his 2nd All-Star appearance, and he strikes out there. So Asher Garcia, 4 up, 4 down via the strikeout. Archie Barton trying to break that streak. Archie was number 5 in the MVP voting, hit a .422 batting average, and you can see that he gets a hit there. Parker Hamstake with a sliding trap but is able to get to it with a base hit allowed, and that stops that streak. So good job from Archie Barton, the RBI leader, tied for first with 15 RBIs. He passes it down the line to Leonardo Deputy. His second year. Last year, he was also on the All-Star team from the Blurs, and he makes it back here again. Forgot to mention Archie Barton from the Dirt Dogs. He played on the Dirt Dogs this year. Deputy with 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. Fouls that one right in front of the plate. And hits this one off the end of the bat. It's going to go to short, and that's going to be a double play for the Yang All-Stars to get a quick out of the inning after giving up a base hit. Asher Garcia lights out so far. Joaquin Keller comes up to the plate, and Bracketeer, who is not having a great start so far, is going to look to see if he can settle in after a rocky first inning. If you've missed these before, the starter I've set to starting a long reliever so that they can end their day sooner and potentially get into the bullpen, where every other player is a relief pitcher. Nice pitching there as Bracketeer is able to get the strikeout against Joaquin Keller of the Below Zeros. His second appearance in the All-Star game. He made it back in Season 1 for the Skulls. And now here comes Parker Hamsteak. First appearance for him. He's on the Protectors. Had a .345 batting average with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. It wasn't a great season, but the Protectors didn't have the best year. Definitely a down year based on their last 2 performances. He pops up to left field. Tony Centercut catches that for out number 2. And now Royce Coffey comes up. Royce from the Skimmers, batting .324 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. And he's going to get a base hit here. Royce of the Skimmers, I just mentioned that, but he gets a base hit with 2 outs here, and the Yang Conference looking for a bit of a 2-out rally. Leonardo Madden comes up. He made the All-Star team from the Burglars. Had a .400 batting average, good for 6th in the league, as well as a 1.204 OPS, which was good for number 5 in the league. And he's going to get that one to short, but it's going to be scooped by Ed Guerrero and tossed to first to end the inning. So good pitching from Orville Bracketeer. And Rock Quintana, you know him, you love him. He is back. Had a big year for the Outlaws, and he will make his second appearance in the All-Star game. The first being in year 1, where he was the MVP. Had a bit of a down year in season 2, but looking to come back after getting that Little Hack trade. He has made a resurgence. Unfortunately, he flies out to right field for out number 1. Kai Plum had a big year for the Sewer Sneaks. Kai ended up number 10 in the MVP voting, tied for 3rd in home runs with 5. Also had 9 RBIs and a 1.203 OPS, good for 6th in the league. He strikes out there, and Asher Garcia is still locked in here as he has just been mowing down the Yin All-Stars. Franklin Pennington of the Sewer Sneaks, his teammate Kai Plum just struck out, but he is up here trying to see what he can do to potentially prevent a 1-2-3 inning from Asher Garcia. Franklin, .389 batting average. Nice diving play from Forrest Ponce as he gets a mojo bump there, and he'll come up to the plate for that one. After that one, to lead things off for the Yang Conference. He's locked in here, 1 for 1 with a single. Didn't get a chance to utilize that Steeler trade in his last at-bat after getting on base. It's a first pitch strike here from Bracketeer, followed by a strike out of the zone. And doesn't chase there. Pops up. Shallow right field. It looks like Archie Barton's back there and calls everyone off to catch that for out number 1. Dainty Waller comes up 0 for 1 today. And Bracketeer at 40 pitches, so his day is nearing the end as he gets a foul there. Little dribbler down the line. And there's a foul pop out, so 0-2 count here. Doesn't chase out of the zone. Bracketeer trying to finish things off. Staying alive is Waller. Dainty, I didn't even get a chance to talk about as he's battling here at full count. And a dribbler to shortstop. Ed Guerrero tosses that for out number 2. Dainty Waller, quick mention, Scroungers outfielder, made it to the All-Star game in year 1 for the Scroungers and had a decent year overall. And that ball from Jack Mars dribbled back to the mound, and Orville Bracketeer is able to get through 3 innings. He did allow 4 hits, but has not allowed a run, and this is 0-0 heading into the top of the 4th. Here comes Casey Willis, 0 for 1 today. He led things off for the Yin All-Stars and struck out. This time he gets the first pitch and sends it up the middle. Casey with a nice hit there. Second consecutive year in the All-Star game and had a really, really great year. Number 9 in the All-Star, the MVP voting. Here comes Fist Gallagher of the Pythons. He was on the Dive Bombers, if you recall, at the end of season 2. He ended up winning it all with the Dive Bombers against the Outlaws. Checking on the runner, followed by a pitch out, and the runner does take off an off-speed pitch, but it's going to be popped up into shallow left. Runner has to retreat back to first, and Jack Mars catches that for out number 1. So missed opportunity, but now here comes big man Ed Guerrero of the Maulers, looking to see if he can help his team out. By far and away, the best performing player in the conference this year, or in the league this year, as Casey Willis gets caught stealing second base for out number 2. And Ed Guerrero sends it to deep right center field, and it gets up and out of here. That is a big home run for the Yin Conference to break the tie. Asher Garcia has completely shut down this offense, but one swing of the bat changes things, and it is now a 1-0 lead for the Yin Conference. And with the way that Bracketeer was pitching, that might be all that they need. Asher Garcia made a mistake, and it puts a blemish on his otherwise beautiful day. Nice hard hit from Tony Centercup, and lines right to Coffee for out number 3. But a one run on the home run could have been a 2-run shot if Casey Willis either didn't steal or didn't get caught. Instead, the Yang Conference does have a chance to get back into this one. Tony Centercut gets pulled for Zeke Noggins. We'll talk about him in his next at-bat. They keep Bracketeer out here, despite him being gassed, against one of the best hitters on the Yang Conference All-Star team, the Lucas Fowle. And that ball blasted into deep left field, but Zeke Noggins able to run that down. Zeke from the Bone Chills. And that's going to be it for Orville Bracketeer. Cantor Murphy comes in. Cantor, his second consecutive year in the All-Star game, both years for the Burners. He made it in with his amazing performance on the mound. 2.95 ERA, 1.15 whip, and 17 strikeouts in 18 1/3 innings pitched. He also got 1 complete game win and gets a strikeout there. Here comes Joaquin Keller. 0 for 1 today. Cantor trying to keep things quick and easy for the Yin All-Stars. Kind of picking up right where Orville Bracketeer left off. 2-0 count here to Keller. Keller could change things with one swing of the bat with that power versus righty straight, but it doesn't even get a chance to activate, and Cantor Murphy is pissed with himself after he gave up that walk on 4 pitches to Joaquin Keller. And now Parker Hamsteak, he has clutch activated at tier 3, and that is a clutch hit for him as he sends it into right center field. Leonardo Deputy comes up throwing, but not a strong arm. It allows the runner to advance from first to third, and now there is a runner on first and third with 1 out, two outs, and Cantor Murphy in a bit of trouble after giving up a walk followed by a base hit. Tying run, standing on third base, 90 feet away for Royce Coffee. Royce takes a strike there. And then dribbles one slowly to shortstop. Ed Guerrero tosses to first, out number 3, ends the inning. So a walk and a hit allow runners to reach, but no one scores, and it is still 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. Archie Barton comes up 1 for 1. big hitter this year for the Dirt Dogs, and he is hoping that he can also take advantage of Asher Garcia, who's getting close to the end of his day. And there's a base hit pulled into left. Barton reaches base to start off the top of the fifth, and that might be it for Asher Garcia. With Deputy coming up 0 for 1 in a high-pressure situation, Asher will stay out there and take strike one here, followed by a pop out or a pop foul. So now 0-2 count for Deputy, who swings at it, grounds to short, toss over to second, not in time over to first. So it's a fielder's choice, preventing the runner from reaching second base, and 1 out now with a runner on first for Rock Quintana. Flew out to right his last time. Asher Garcia gets pulled for Urkel Plunder. Urkel Plunder pitched for the Skulls this year, had a really solid year. 21 strikeouts, tied for first in the league. Runner takes off on that hit and run, and that ball's going to get dumped into left field, and runner will advance to third on that play. So we'll have first and third with 1 out. And Urkel, with 21 strikeouts and 17.1 innings pitched, was phenomenal this year. .98 whip, a 2.60 ERA, was pretty lights out for the Skulls all year long. That's what gave him the nod in the All-Star game. Kai Plum pulls one just foul as that goes out of play. First and third, 1 out. And popped foul, 1-2 count. We'll do it again. And max pressure here. Take strike 3 on the corner, and Kai Plum goes down looking. Now Franklin Pennington comes up, tier 2 high pitch and off-speed hitter. Had a 1.47 OPS this year, so pretty solid year all around. He gets his high pitch, but this time it gets lofted right behind home plate, or I mean the rubber, the pitching mound, and that's going to be caught for out number 3. So Urkel Plunder was able to stop the rally before it started and prevented another run from scoring. So this is still 1-0 ball game for Leonardo Madden coming up against Cantor Murphy. Immediately grounds to second, out number 1. Just a heads up, there was a lot of players that I ended up polling that were infielders for these teams. I tried to do best performing player, but I also always want to try and keep it even from infield and outfield. So just awareness, I did have to move a lot of players around to get them to play positions they're not usually used to playing, to allow them the opportunity to be able to start in this game. Base hit up the middle with a mojo boost there from, I believe that was Leonardo Madden. Nope, Dainty Waller. And Charles Rangel will come in to replace Dainty Waller at the plate. Tier 3 clutch in a max pressure situation is a huge boost to his attributes. Stealer is activated for Florence Ponce. Easy steal there, and tying run is sitting in scoring position. Cantor Murphy needs to figure something out, and quick, if he's wanting to keep the All-Stars in this one. And that ball off the diving glove of Casey Willis and into the left field corner and out into the foul territory. That's going to potentially be considered an error, but it allows the tying run to score from second base as that ball went into no man's land. And now we have really great speed over there at first base with only 1 out. Jack Mars comes up. Cantor Murphy having a really tough time, as he did allow, that was considered an earned run, so it wasn't an error. 0-2 count here to Jack Mars. Cantor Murphy getting tired at the end of his day after 26 pitches, and they're keeping him out there. Another pop foul there, so staying alive is Mars. A ball in the gap could score another run here with amazing speed sitting on first base. 1-2 count with 1 out. 30th pitch of the day for Cantor Murphy, and it's a foul with a runner taking off. Another foul, so big battle here from Jack Mars. Really exhausting Cantor Murphy, and that ball's going to be blooped in front of Fisk Gallagher in right field. He was not able to get it in time as he was playing back and a little closer towards towards center field. And now Lucas Fowle comes up 1 for 2, and Cantor Murphy gets pulled for Bo Fernandez. Bo Fernandez pitched for the the Pythons all year. He's a long reliever who had 15 strikeouts and 12 and a third innings pitched. He had a .208 ERA. .208 opponent batting average, along with a 2.92 ERA. He is going to be tasked with getting out of this inning without allowing a run, but he is going to fail to do that as Lucas Fowl sends it into deep left field and out of here. That one was far from foul, but it was a nasty hit as he sends that deep into left center field. 3-run homer makes this a 4-1 ball game for one of the perennial home run leaders in the Chemlock League. And now the Yang All-Stars have a chance to win this one outright, as Bo Fernandez is now tense, as well as Valerie McDowell from the Dive Bombers, but she's going to hope to see if she can follow in her teammates' footsteps. 1-2 count with 1 out, and she is going to get a base hit up the middle here, so she'll keep the inning going for the Yang All-Stars. Their offense looking to try and add a little bit more insurance. McDowell gets her mojo back to neutral, and now we turn to Joaquin Keller, 0 for 1 with a walk. Fastball hitter, as well as power versus righties at max tier. He gets a fastball and sends it into dead center field for another base hit. So 1 out, runners on first and second. Line just keeps moving along for the Yang All-Stars. And Parker Hamsteak with his tier 3 clutch trait, 1 for 2 with a single. Only a high pressure situation now. And unfortunately, Bo Fernandez rally stopper is only at tier 1. So that's another product of those unfortunate chemistry mixes of these all-stars when these teams get put together. 1-2 count, and Bo gets the grounder to short. Kai Plum will get it over to Burton in time for the double play to end the inning, but a big inning for the Yang All-Stars. 4 runs come across, a base hit followed by a 3-run homer, and that's what allows this game to go into the top of the 6th with the Yang All-Stars 3 outs away to make that 2 outs away as Casey Wallace grounds out to second base. 3 runs needed for the Yin All-Stars if they want to try and tie this game. Fisk Gallagher trying to fight for his team's life against Urkel Plunder. And Fist sends one into deep center field. Diving for it is the center fielder. Rangel's not able to get to it in time, and that's going to be a standing double for Fisk Gallagher. Clutch moment for him as he comes up big for the Yin All-Stars. And now we get to Ed Guerrero, who already hit 1 home run today, a solo shot, and a chance for him to make this game so much closer here in the top of the 6th. Urkel Plunder grounds him over to second base. Valerie McDowell was shading towards second, but she's able to get it over to first in time for out number 2. A runner standing on third base now with 2 outs, and Zeke Noggins comes up. Zeke from I think I already said this, the Bone Chills. Had a decent year with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. Not much else to speak of, though. 1-2 count, and Zeke strikes out swinging to end this game. The Yang All-Stars with a huge home run from Lucas Fowl. If you recall, back in Season 1, Lucas was actually on the burners. So he used to be a Yin All-Star, but this year switching sides and comes up big for his team as he gets a 3-run homer, which was the game winner. The Yang All-Stars break the tie in Season 3. It was split 1-1, and this time they get the win in decisive fashion. 1 run on 6 hits for the Yin All-Stars, 4 runs on 11 hits for the Yang All-Stars. The All-Star team for the Yins got shut down pretty significantly outside of Ed Guerrero and his solo home run. Archie Barton had a 2-for-2 day, but otherwise not much offense to go around for the Yin All-Stars. Yang All-Stars kind of got a lot going on. They had 2 hits from Forrest Ponce, from Jack Mars, from Lucas Fowl, and a bunch of other hits scattered around. The 3-run homer from Lucas Fowl, the clutch hitting from Charles Rangel. I don't know if I had mentioned that, but Charles Rangel came from the Skulls this year, and he came up big for his team as he was able to get a base hit, scoring a run, and then came around to score himself, and that's what ended up making a difference in this ball game. So with that being said, Pitching wise, Orville Bracketeer made a valiant effort. He went 3 1/3, giving up 4 hits and 2 strikeouts, never gave up a run. Cantor Murphy came in and did not do a good job for his team. 1 inning pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. And then Bo Fernandez came in and didn't do much better. He went 2/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits, 1 solo home run. No, he gave up the home run with 2 runners on that were Cantor Murphy's responsibility. Bo gave up that 3-run homer. Asher Garcia, what a day from him. He went 4 1/3, 4 hits, 1 solo home run, and struck out 5. Then Urkel Plunder gets the win as he went 1 2/3, giving up 2 hits and striking out 2. So when you look at the top 3 for this game, Lucas Fowle gets the number 1 player, Asher Garcia number 2, and Ed Guerrero number 3. Makes sense for me, and that's going to be your All-Star game. Now, I do want to take a few minutes to work through some of these teams, some of these players that made the All-Star game but didn't get a chance to show up. So let's go back and take a look at the rosters. All right, so for All-Star game here, let's do this. Let's go bop, bop. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to start with... you already saw Franklin Pennington, Archie Barton, Rock Quintana, Kai Plum. We saw Casey Willis and Ed Guerrero. What you didn't get a chance to see was Auguste center cut of the Burners. He had a great year, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, a 1.161 OPS. 5 doubles for him this year. Dipper Bellotto made the All-Star team for the Marauders as he had 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. He tied for first in the RBI category. Also had 6 stolen bases, which was tied for second in the league, and 4 doubles. So he had a really big year for him. And then you saw Zeke Noggins, which got the start from which got the appearance in the All-Star game from the Bone Chills. Tony Centercut, Leonardo Deputy, Fisk Gallagher, we talked about them. We also saw Orville Bracketeer. We also saw Cantor Murphy and Bo Fernandez. Who we didn't get a chance to see was pretty much every pitcher otherwise that was even better than those 3 outside of Orville. Now, Natalie DeOrange, she pitched for the Maulers. This was the second year she made it to the All-Star game. She made it back in year 1 for the Maulers as well. 2.55 ERA, 1.25 whip, 15 strikeouts in 17 2/3 innings pitched. Bo Adams made it for the Dirt Dogs. Didn't have a great year, but definitely was the best of his team. 10 strikeouts, a 1.55 whip, and 10 1/3 innings pitched. D. Ford had a really great year for the Reapers. He ranked 2nd in opponent batting average with a 146. He ranked 3rd in whip with a .73, 5th in ERA with a 1.32, and he also had 18 strikeouts in his 13 2/3 innings pitched. So he had a phenomenal year. For the Outlaws, it was Chris Lopside that made it to the All-Star game for his team. 6 strikeouts, 1 save, a .94 whip, and a 2.31 ERA in 11 2/3 innings pitched. It wasn't an elite performance, but it was really solid considering how our Outlaws pitching staff usually is. We talked about Cantor Murphy. Bash Lowry makes it for the Marauders with a 2.25 ERA, a 1.50 whip, and 13 strikeouts in through 12 innings pitch. He also got 3 saves, which was tied for second in the league this year. So Bash Lowry, the Marauders, made it to the All-Star game. Check it out. It's Harvey Loncheros, former Outlaw. He's now on the Blurs, and he pitched really well this year, a 1.17 ERA, 4 strikeouts, a 1.30 whip, and 7 2/3 innings. So not much not many outings for him, but very productive performances from Harvey. And then we talked about Bo Fernandez. Crescent Browning made it for the Bone Chills. His 1.50 ERA, 1.22 whip, and 9 strikeouts through 18 innings pitched led him to make the All-Star team for the Yin Conference. So that's everyone that made it from there. Let's touch on those players that we didn't get a chance to see from the Yang All-Stars, and that includes Grover Charles, Grover Charles made it from the Rippers, 341 batting average, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 3 doubles throughout the year. Then we have Sasha Garrett. Sasha made it as a member of the as a member of the Favorites, 341 batting average, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 5 doubles throughout the year. Solid performance for her, making her first appearance in the All-Star game. We talked Valerie and Forrest. We saw Charles Rangel from the Skulls. We talked about his performance this year. Of course, we saw Jack, Royce, Dainty, and Parker Hamsteak. We saw Asher Garcia get his chance to perform, and he succeeded. The Cy Young winner pitched phenomenally. But Reeve Blackwell of the Scroungers, his second consecutive All-Star appearance, both from the Scroungers. Another phenomenal year for him. 1.72 ERA, 1.53 WHIP, 13 strikeouts through his 15 and 2/3 innings pitched. So solid year for him. Makes the All-Star year again in 2 consecutive years. Donovan Rounds, he is a recurring All-Star, as he made it last year for the Protectors. Same thing this year. He ranked top 9 in the ERA category, 142. Top 8 when it comes to WHIP at 87 or 0.87, 11 strikeouts, and he pitched 12 and 2/3 innings. I know there's a lot of data, but want to just make sure I'm giving them credit for their performances this year. Ellie Acosta, if you had guessed that she was the pitcher that made it to 3 consecutive All-Star games and the only player in the Chemlock League to make all 3 All-Star games, it's Ellie Acosta. Now, what's interesting is she, in year 1, made the team as a Marauder. In year 2, made it as a Dirt Dog. This year, making it as a Burglar. So she has bounced around the league on both sides in both conferences, but she makes it again for the 3rd consecutive year. 2.37 ERA, 0.89 WHIP, 10 strikeouts. She had 2 complete games and 1 complete game shutout in 19 innings pitched. So another phenomenal year for Ellie Acosta. She is going to go down in the record books for the Chemlock League in years to come. Bethany Hangnail, made it for the Skimmers for the first time. Her notable stats include a .82 WHIP, which was tied for 5th in the league, and a .154 opponent batting average, 4th in the league through 11 innings pitched. Lockwood Wynn, he made the All-Star game from the Dive Bombers, a 1.69 ERA and 15 strikeouts and 16 innings pitched. Carmelo Shiso from the Favorites, to a .08 ERA, a .35 WHIP. What a crazy number there. And 7 strikeouts and 8 2/3 innings for him. Collins Angeles, she snakes into the All-Star game, and she played for the Rippers, a 1.93 ERA, 17 strikeouts in 14 innings pitched. Urkel Punter, we talked about from the Skulls, and then lastly, Smoke Reef Killer. Credit to him, the worst attributes of everyone in the league, or everyone in the All-Star game. And he somehow overcame the odds to make this team. You see his crossed up and easy jumps. Just a terrible player, but only 20. And he ends up making the All-Star game as the below zeros appearance. So he had a 2.57 ERA, a 1.57 WHIP, and 8 strikeouts through 14 innings pitched. So good job for him as he made the All-Star team. And that is going to be the All-Star teams for both conferences. And this is off the back of a Yang All-Star win. So they win 4-1. And that's going to end our fun little side exhibition matchup between those two teams. We now head into the playoffs. Next time out, you will see, there's Lily Dubs, you will see us facing off against the Reapers to start this playoff conference, a team we faced off against last year in the same situation. This time we have the home field advantage versus them, and we are going to be number 2 seed for us. Reapers at 3. We see Sewer Sneaks at 1, Burners at 4, snuck into the playoffs. On the Yang Conference side, the Burglars at 1. Scroungers make it for the second time in 3 years. They will get the number 2 seed. We'll see Undulates at 3, and then the Protectors at number 4. So we'll see what ends up playing out. Can't wait for you to be able to watch the 3rd year of the Chemlock League. And remember, if we don't win it all, we will be changing teams. So we'll see if the Outlaws can make one more push for another conference or for another championship victory. Let's see if we can get there first. First round against the Reapers coming up next time. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, everyone.